What's up, everybody? Sak passe, hola, boa tarde, all that good stuff. Anyway, it's me, Sankara, back with another video. And for this one, we're going to be talking about the DLAB, what it is, the format, and why it's a savage. I mean, what can I say? Anyway, so I'm going to start by talking about what the DLAB is. If you're watching this video, you're probably already a little familiar, but if you're not, read a book, Google. DLAB stands for Defense Language Aptitude Battery. And the purpose of the test is to assess your ability to learn a new language in a very short period of time. So there's another test you guys can take if you're looking to do language jobs called the DLPT, but that's if you already know a language like, Farsi or Arabic, whatever like that. If you're someone like me, then you're going to have to take a test that is going to test your ability to learn one of those critical languages. All right, so format, multiple choice. You got about, I think, 2 hours to finish the test. And there's two, I think there's a computerized version and a written one. You'll more than likely be taking the computerized test. I'm not even sure if the written one's still available, but I know that that wasn't even an option. I was like, you're taking a computer test. But anyway, now, why is this test a savage? I'm gonna explain. There's 3 sections, right? The first one is like stress, word stress, right? That's very easy. The second part is like grammar, comprehension. And the third part is grammar conceptualization. And that's the hardest part. I mean, all of it is hard, to be real. But I'm going to explain how each part works. So the first part for the syllable stress sounds simple, right? And it is simple, but simple doesn't mean that it's easy. So they're going to give you, you're going to read your instructions, right? And then they're going to give you an utterance to listen to. You'll need headphones, put your headphones on, blah, 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 blah. They're going to give you some BS, some gibberish to listen to. And in that gibberish, there's going to be one of those syllables that's stressed. So let's say the word is, I don't know, hippopotamus. So in that word, you have 5 syllables. Yeah, that's 5 syllables. And then the stress is on the 3rd syllable. So then they're going to give you, after that, you'll hear 4 more utterances, right? And you'll have to decide which one of those 4 has the same 3rd syllable stress like the first one you heard, right? Now, this is not going to be English, obviously, because you're learning a new language, so it's going to be, like I said, gibberish, and you get 1 time to listen. There's no replaying, right? So you get 1 time to listen, and what makes it so hard is that, like, okay, you heard the first one, and then as you're going through the options, you're trying to remember, like, damn, was that stress on the 3rd syllable, or was it the 1st? Or maybe you're listening to, option 1. It's like, okay, like, I don't know if that was the 1st syllable or the 5th. Like, so it's really, it gets tricky, man. It sounds easy, but the fact that you only get to listen to it 1 time, it can't go back, like, yeah, that makes it tough. So my suggestion for that part is, when you get to that, focus on, obviously, the first one, the sample utterance. And when it goes through the options, as soon as you hear something that's like, that is like the first one, select that one. Like, don't go through all 4, because then you're trying to remember, like, which one of these had that same stress. So yeah, just stay woke. So the second one, so in the second part, you're going to come to the grammar section, right? The first grammar section is really 2. see how much. Okay, I'm at 4 minutes. I'm good. So yeah, you're gonna come to the grammar section, and in this section they're gonna give you. It's the same format. They're gonna give you a sample, and they're gonna give you 4 options, right? But for this one, you're going to. They're gonna give you a rule, right? They're gonna start you off with one rule, and then they're gonna give you, you know, your 4 options, and you have to decide which one of those 4 options, you know, has that grammar rule. So, now, what's tricky about this part is it's easy when you have one rule to remember, right? So at the beginning of that section, you should have no issue, especially if you learned a foreign language before. You should have no issue, you know, with beginning stages of that second part. When you get to like the 3rd, 4th, or 5th question, again, it's introducing a rule after each one. So by the latter part of that section, you're gonna have like maybe 10 rules to remember. And also keep in mind that this is audio, so you're gonna hear one utterance, right? And then you'll hear 4, and you have to decide which one of those 4 has all those rules applied. So it gets exponentially harder because again, it's one rule after another rule after another rule, and you have to decide which one of those has all of those rules applied. So later in that section, yeah, you're gonna be stressed. I'm just gonna be real. So for that section, same thing. What's good is that it tells you what the rule is, right? So there's like a little, you know, reference part at the bottom. It'll explain what the rules are. So you can look at the rules again if you don't remember them, but you can only listen to it one time. One time is one and done. So again, just try to focus. The 3rd part is the hardest part. That's the part where I'm not gonna lie, like, so I've taken a lot of tests, you know, I have gone through college and all that. I've taken a lot of hard, you know, tests, standardized tests. I can only remember a few times where I saw a test and I was just like, what the hell is this? Excuse my language. But when I got to the 3rd section, I was like, what is this? I was just completely lost. But basically, okay, so the 3rd part is grammar conceptualization. It's going to give you, like, you know, let's say 3 pictures, and it's going to have some BS at the bottom of each one, right? So in the 2nd section, it told you what the rule was. In the 3rd section, it doesn't tell you anything about the rule. You just have to look at the pictures, look at the BS at the bottom, and make sense of what's going on in that picture. Like what grammatical concept is being demonstrated. And then you're going to have 4 options, right? Multiple choice again. And you're going to decide which one of those illustrates that same rule that you saw in the sample. So needless to say, man, there's some practice tests that you can look up, but I wish I would have done that, especially for the 3rd section. But yeah, that was completely just like that was I'm gonna stay away from the profanity, but it was hard, man. I'm gonna say that. So for that section, I would say, again, there's really no way to prepare for that other than, I mean, the practice test. And I do remember seeing some tests before going there, and it was kind of similar to what I saw there, but not really. But if I find any tests, any good tests, I will post them at the bottom in the description. But yeah, man, I'm just making this video to let you guys know that if you're taking that test, you're probably going to be stressed out. It's probably going to be one of the hardest multiple choice tests you'll take, and just be ready. One piece of advice that my recruiter gave me was to just like kind of empty your mind. don't try to compare it to, you know, some other language that you studied, and don't try to apply those rules to that you know, new language, because it's not going to work that way. Also, what will really help you in your second and third section, well, actually the second section, but also the third section too, is just having a really good understanding of English grammar, or whatever your first language is. So knowing what you know, a noun is, a verb, you know, adverb, those things will help you out immensely on that second part, because the rules are explained using those, you know, grammatical terms that you should already be familiar with. So that is that. I'd like to hear your guys' experiences. So if you have taken the DLAB before, let me know, you know, how it went. Was it as tough as it was for me, as it was for you guys? What'd you think of it? And that's going to be it for this video. I'm trying to keep it short. So yeah, until next time, this is Sankara signing off. Peace.